year, Harbour School. We're very excited to be here for the very first episode of 2024. Big trick, actually, we're filming this in 2023, so we're predicting time ahead of time. Okay, our New Year's resolution of the Tide Show is to have it more often because we got so busy in 2023 we couldn't do it so much. So thank you very much. So as our first episode, we actually have a very, very special interview of a mystery person who's been around the school, a lot of you know. Here's his picture, see if you can figure it out. If you said Mr. Eve, then you would be correct. So today's Tide Show is a longish episode all about Mr. Eve. But first, let's see, who is Mr. Eve? What does he do at the school? Don't take it from me. Take it from some of our fourth graders who will tell us what he does in their class with them. So, hello Riley, Jonathan, and Samir. So I want to ask you what you do with Mr. Eve in your class.
Oh, he teaches about friendship and happiness. And last time, our second class with him, he showed up with papers. And then if it was a nice thing, we don't have to rip it. And if it was a bad thing, we would have to rip it.
Oh,
it was super fun.
That's really helpful because it's good to rip the bad stuff that you don't have to remember. And how about you, Jonathan?
He teaches us about how to stop bullies.
Okay, that's very important.
What happens when there's a bully.
Okay.
What I like about him is all the fun activities he plans.
Okay, great. What's the most fun activity? How about from you, Samir?
Well, a fun activity he did was like, ripping the papers because like the bad stuff is negative. We want the positive stuff.
That's right.
And he really teaches us about friendship, bullying, and he also he gave us some situations to solve.
That's great. Okay, thank you so much. And now I came to ask some third graders. We have Jaden, Oliver, and Tyler, and they're going to tell me what their experience is with Mr. Eve. So Tyler, what's your favorite activity that you've done with Mr. Eve?
The balloon popping.
Okay, why did you guys pop balloons?
Because we had to blow our negative thoughts into the balloon, and then we would just pop the balloon so it would go away in the air.
Okay, you want to add anything to that, Jaden?
When you blow it, you blow only your negative thoughts, not your positive thoughts, so you can blow the one.
Okay, where do you keep your positive thoughts?
In your body. In your body.
Okay, well that sounds like that's a healthy place to be. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, and welcome to our second episode of our Say What feature this year. I have a really truly special guest, and it's basically about somebody that I've gotten to know a little bit and I've been very curious about, especially when I found out a really interesting fact about this person. This person lived in the Soviet Union or the USSR. How many of you know where that is? Raise your hand. Or what that is. Okay, well, take a guess now. I'll give you 5 seconds. Take a guess who that might be. Okay, well, if you guessed Mr. Evgeny, you would be correct. We're now going to bring him from not the Soviet Union, but from the 5th floor here to our show. Welcome, Mr. Evgeny.
Oh, Ms. Greenberg, thank you so much for the opportunity to travel it back in time to my childhood and to my home country, which was the USSR. You're right.
Wow. So, for those who don't know, what's your role at the school?
I'm a school counselor, start from this year, but I'm not new here. As you know me, I've been already for 1 year.
Yes, I've known you for a while. So the really interesting fact I learned about you is that you're from the USSR. Can you tell us what that is and, what it was like growing there?
You can research. USSR started in 1922 and finished its existence in 1991.
Wow.
And it was exactly my it was a primary school.
Okay, so you don't have to calculate how old he is.
And so that was a very interesting part of my life. And of course, I'm a firm believer, if you know your past, it helps you a lot to decide who you want to be.
Oh, that's really good. Actually, we want to learn a little bit about your past. Can you tell us a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 details about your childhood in the USSR?
Okay, sure. So the first of all, it was the very exciting movement is called Oktoberist. So it's a Youth October. So the kids like me, like millions of other kids, was by that time USSR was like 270 million people.
Wow.
It's a gigantic. And I was on the Ukraine, in a part of Ukraine, and you know that feelings when you move from the big city to some small areas, you feel more cozy, you feel more friendly. So this is what kind of I perceive my home country, Ukraine. So we all felt like we were part of something very big, as a huge country.
This is when you were like a boy guide?
Yes,
Yeah. So this is the picture?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And so when you reach your year 9, so 9 years old, you can be October. So you wear some beige and you need to follow the rules. It's mostly, in my memories, is mostly about, of course, some discipline and how well you can study, how well you can support your family, your friends. And the biggest memory is about the summer camps.
Okay.
So the summer camps when all the kids, they need to go. So we had like 3 months is summer break, which is very generous. And our summer camp located in the woods, which is very exciting.
Wow. No internet.
Well, internet appears, I think, maybe 10 years later.
Oh, okay.
So this is another thing I want to share with you. And so you become an Octoberist, and if you study well, you can become pioneer. And I have
pioneer?
something here.
Oh,
I
really?
bring something from my past.
Okay.
And this is a pioneer tie.
Wow.
So every single kid, you have to study well. And if you study well, you can be accepted to pioneers by the age of 10.
Wow.
So when I accepted to pioneer, after a few months, the USSR stopped to exist. So let me show this. Should be with the closed eyes. Remember how to do this. So this is a pioneer tie. So the left side should be longer than the right side.
It's back in 1990.
I'm a pioneer now.
You're a pioneer now. Okay.
And
so one day the USSR stopped existing.
there's an interesting fact, and actually thank you for this, because I remember clearly when it stopped existing, there was summer. I was exactly in the summer camp. But when you go to the Wikipedia, it says that the USSR stopped its existence in December.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it's the 24th of December, 26th of December. But Ukraine, my country, they announced independence in August, which is 4 months earlier.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so the 4 months earlier, because I remember we are running, playing basketball, or doing some fireworks, and there was announcement like it's no more USSR, and it's become Commonwealth independent states.
Oh,
so
wow.
there's so USSR was the 15 republics, 15 countries together.
So here's the map, 15 countries.
Yes, 270 millions, right?
Wow, people.
And by that time, I think the Russia on its own was like 140 million, so literally the half.
100, that's exactly half.
Become like separate, different countries. And as I said, both Russia, Ukraine, and all other 13 countries, they have their own identity and culture
and food and tradition.
Food is number one, because Ukraine, you know, is all about the bread, about the wheat. We have a flag, so the blue is sky, and the yellow is the wheat for the bread. So we love to eat bread and potato.
Okay, so here I am going to have all the different flags of those countries.
By that time I already started to dance, which is also was quite
rare. He's actually a champion dancer. Did you know that?
Yeah, I started.
You can be a counselor and a dancer, and a pioneer.
Oh, we dance in our sessions.
Okay, good. That's really
good. So it's of course pretty much depends where you focus on, and of course the majority of the people, they went through the certain periods. But for me as a kid, for my friends, as I remember my schooling time, and again the summer camp time, there was amazing memories of friendship, doing all kind of sports.
So you had a happy childhood.
I have a very happy childhood. We couldn't
wonderful.
travel at that time, right? But that time, I think the one things I recall, it was very difficult to leave the country.
We have some students who have some questions for you about. Oh, first of all, actually, do you consider yourself Russian or Ukrainian?
Fantastic question. I answered this question first in Hong Kong. It depends who asked me. In
That's good. That's true.
In Hong Kong, I said, "Oh, Hong Kongian," because I'm 14 years in Hong Kong. So, oh,
Yes,
Hong Kongian.
that's true. I feel the same way. Actually.
Yes, I left my country, Ukraine, when I was 19,
Okay.
and I lived for more than 10 years in Russia, and now for more than 13 years I live in Hong Kong. And I have a very good friends in Ukraine who are really Ukrainians. So they have their families there, they have a very deep understanding about the culture, they grew up there. So I mean my age friends, right? And I wouldn't say I'm the same Ukrainian, and they are, right? And in the same time I have friends from Russia and from Kazakhstan who are really Russians or Kazakhs. They love their culture, they really understand a lot about the history, they experience every day what is going on in the country. And I cannot say I'm a Russian or the Kazakh in the same way. So I would say like me and you, I know, and all the majority of our students in the school, there's a term called the third generation kids. The kids who was born somewhere, but they moved.
Or third culture kids.
Soul culture kids, right? The studies shows that the third culture people, they are more eager to achieve things. And if you trace all the famous celebrities,
President Obama was a third culture kid.
Most of the time, you will find out that all those people who achieve the high results and whatever they want to achieve, they most likely are third culture kids. Because when you find yourself in a new place with a new culture, you are
Well, you learn more,
Yeah,
and you
of
also
course.
learn how to adapt. That's a very interesting
So-
fact. There's so many of our kids who have a different passport, but they were born maybe in Hong Kong even, you know, so there's so many of us.
Yeah, so I will answer your question in this way. So by experience that friendship with these people from Ukraine, from Russia, from Kazakhstan, from Armenia, from Moldova, I consider myself multicultural. Of course, I feel the roots. It's my Ukrainian roots. I love the food. I love the people there. I love the way they communicate. I also pretty much like any other cultures. Like if you talk about Russia, it's the ballet. I'm a dancer, so the ballet is the #1 in the world. Put a big influence on what my perception about art right now.
Very rich culturally. Okay, so now we're going to have some students ask you some questions.
Do Russians consider themselves Asian or European?
Thank you for your question, Doug. So if you look at the map, and let's see, if I talk about my origination as a Ukrainian, so it's most closer to the Europe. And it's also pretty much depends on which city you come from in Russia, because it's gigantic, as you can see. And I believe some people, sometimes when you meet them, they're Russians, but they look like Chinese.
Not the two things.
Right.
Some people like in Vladivostok or something.
Exactly. So you can see it, and if you ask those people, they might answer will differ from my one. So being Ukrainian, I think it's more drifted towards the Europe.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So there's a stereotype about Russians that they never smile. Is this really true?
Oh, thank you for your question. I'm smiling now, and I would answer this way. There is a very good term. It's called frequency of illusion. That means the person pick wherever he wants to pick. So let's say if you wear the blue t-shirt and you come out to the street and you see, oh, every person now wearing the blue t-shirt. If I buy the red car, I might see, okay, everybody have a red car, but it is not true, right? If you go to the south, the people are more happy, friendlier, and it's not only that, it's in many countries. But I would say they smile. And if you smile to the people, they will smile back to you 100%. So where is your smile?
Well, my question is that there's another stereotype that Russians are always tough and gangsters, like the Irish. The Irish mob and everything.
Okay, thank you, Hugo, and for your analogy. So you see, it's many generation, and we can again put some biases on it. And of course, I believe this understanding came from the movies, right? We can see all these characters. And again, I remember my childhood. My grandma, she was the chef of the summer camp. So all the tough guys, all the gangsters, they were my friends because I have access to the food. So when you find a way how to deal with the people, they can be kind to you as well. So, and I think it's not true. Let's say this way, it's not true.
Do you think that the stereotype is based on because people frame Russians in a certain way after the Cold War and everything?
It is partly truth, and it's also the truth again on the movies how the other country perceive themselves, right? My first trip to Thailand, for example, was I went to the country of smiles, and when I landed and I met the first guy and he didn't smile to me, I said, hey, why you didn't smile? I'm in your country, you should smile now. And then after I remember something happened to my luggage in the airport, and the guy come to me and he smiled, and I wasn't happy at all. Like, why you're smiling? Because my luggage is missing, and why you're smiling? So this is always, you know, like when you go to any country, it depends on what situation you experience and what kind of person in front of you. Of course, we're not living in an ideal world, right? So we have a tough people, we have a nice people, and who you meet, it's up to you and up to chance.
So Ukrainian and Russian are different languages, right? So how
That's
do you
correct.
say thank you in Russian?
Both languages are very solid and they're very different. And in Russian, to say thank you, spasiba, and in the Ukrainian, say thank you, дякую. My problem is now when I try to talk in Ukrainian, I switch to English, so it's very difficult to switch. But the both languages, and I would say the Ukrainian language is more for singing, so the people like to sing, and a lot of famous singers there, and the melodies and the poems are very famous all over the world.
So thank you so much, Mr. Evgeny. We really appreciate learning about you, your culture, your perspective. And if you are interested in sharing anything about yourself, and that's for teachers, students, anything at all, different countries, different cultures or anything, please contact us at sayWhat@thhs.edu.hk. Thank you.
Thank you so
Спасибо.
much. Спасибо.
Guys, it's 2024. What do you guys want to do for New Year's resolutions?
I want to get better at my media tech skills. Did you hear that, Mr. Hussein?
I want to make fire with rocks.
I want to be better at cleaning my room.
I want to land a flip on a trampoline.
New Year's resolution!
Happy New Year. What's your resolution?
My resolution is to get better at my dishes. I want to cook my dad's favorite recipe, chicken. I want to fly a drone.
Great. Well, there you have it. There's a great start. Resolutions. I know that some people don't like to have resolutions, but it's a great thing to be talking about what you want to do this coming year. So have a great year and see you more often because that was our resolution. See ya.